Hi everyone, BGBird27 still here with a monster cold. Just chilling out a little bit and bringing you now the PS4 conference overview. This was a lot better than the Xbox One in my opinion. There is one thing that they've changed, which, to be honest, will hopefully make what they've changed better. They will offer a better service, but we'll get to that in a second. So the PS4 conference started, and we started with just a load of trailers, one after another, for all the upcoming big releases for the PS3 that are coming up. So we saw Last of Us, which is out obviously this week. We saw Rain, we saw Puppeteer, we saw Beyond Two Souls, we saw Gran Turismo 6, and then we saw Batman Origins. Then they spoke a little bit about Batman Origins and said that PlayStation will have exclusive costumes and other content for the game, which is fair enough. Then they came out and mentioned GTA 5, and they've announced that they're releasing an exclusive console for that, an exclusive bundle. So it's not an actual a special console; it's a bundle, but it does come. It does come with Grand Theft Auto 5 headset. I think they said that the bundle was $299, but I can't really remember. And then they went on to mention that they've got 300 PS3 titles coming out by the end of this year. So, but I reckon most of them are going to be indie games. So yeah. Then we had Andrew House come out. I like Andrew House. One, he's British, and two, he just seems like a really nice guy. And he came out and unveiled the console, which to me it looks like a sleeker PS2. There's no curves on it. It's very square like the PS2 with like an offset sort of thing. It looks smaller than a first gen PS3 in my eyes. With the way, in his hands, it just looked small. Maybe maybe about the size of the first slim PS3, but it looked about that size. Apparently, the PS4 is a groundbreaking platform that they created especially for the gamers. So a lot of times they said that this console is made for the gamers. At its core, it's for the gamer, which we like to hear, which is nice. Then they had Sony Pictures come out talking a load of bollocks about new programming and new programming exclusives for the PS4, and how it'll come with the standard Sony Music and Sony Video Unlimited from day one. So you're going to have from day one you'll have 20 million songs access to and 150,000 movies and TV shows, which is just the bog standard, kind of what we get now on the PS3, which I don't use. Then they said we have all the standard stuff like Netflix and stuff like that, and they've also announced that Flickster is coming to the PlayStation 4. So if you're a Flickster user, so that'll be good news for you guys. They have also said that it's going to have a new live events viewer, so they'll be able to stream live events to your PlayStation, like boxing matches, wrestling matches, football and things like that are pay-per-view. But then again, they reassured that at its core it is a gaming system. So they went over a bit, like I said, with the TV and stuff, but nowhere near as Microsoft did when they first unveiled the console and that's all they fucking talk about for an hour. They said it was built for what they would listen to the developers and the gamers, and they built the system for them. So then they announced that just Sony Computer Entertainment, their publishing, their publishing company and the people that make their games, They've actually got 30 PS4 games in development at this time, and apparently 20 of those 30 will come out in the first year. And that's just from Sony Entertainment Europe itself, or from Sony Entertainment itself. Then we had an exclusive title for the PS4 called The Order 1886, set in London by the looks of it. Looked quite good, but just a cutscene video. Looked quite good. Then we had a couple of updates on titles. So we learned that Killzone, Shadowfall, Drive Club, and Knack will be launch titles. So day one releases. And then Infamous Second Son is going to be Q1 next year. But apart from that, we didn't really see anything that we didn't see when they first unveiled it. So that was a little bit underwhelming. Didn't see anything new there. Sorry. Don't know what I read there. Oh, right. Then they went on about what they talked a little bit about what they wanted from the console and what it can do. So apparently now, for developers, they can now add more facial expressions and more emotion to characters. And the way they shoe this off was with a game called The Dark Sorcerer. It was an in-game engine video, and it looked fucking amazing. There's like a 12-minute video that you can... I'll try and find a link for it. I'll put it in the description. There's like a 12-minute video, and it's just amazing. Like it looks incredible, and it's all in-game engine. It's very, very impressive. Yeah, I definitely suggest you go and check that out. Then they went on to indie games. So then they were like, we pride ourselves in supporting independent indie companies, so that's fair enough. And then they announced that The Witness, which is coming out, is going to be a PS4 exclusive. Then they had the creators from Bastion come out and show us their new game Transistor. It has the same look and feel and even point of view as Bastion, but it does look quite good. But if you like Bastion, you'll like it, but then it's a bit too much like Bastion, if you see what I mean. So, yeah. And also, they said that indie companies are going to be able to self-publish on the PS4, which, in my opinion, is good news. Then they announced a load of exclusive games that are coming out, indie games that are coming out for the PS4, which are Don't Starve, Mercenary Kings, Octodad, Secret Ponchos, Outlaw, Oddworld Inhabitants, which at the same time they also announced that they're remaking a HD version of Oddworld 1, Galax Z, Raised Dead, and apparently they're all going to be exclusive PS4 indie games. So more exclusives for the PS4, which is good. Then they had Diablo 3 come out briefly and announced that they're going to have exclusive content for the PS4. Didn't announce when it's coming out. I'm hoping it's going to be a day one release because I want to buy Killzone and Diablo 3 on day one. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. Then they showed the amazing Final Fantasy Versus 13 trailer. Now you all know that I'm a massive Final Fantasy fan. It looked brilliant in a more real world setting. And then at the end, it actually said that is Final Fantasy 15. So that was awesome because we've been waiting on news for Versus 13 for fucking years. And now it's finally here and it's 15. So that's great. Then they announced, finally, hallelujah, Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming, which is not an exclusive, but managed to get the PS4 to show it off for them instead of Xbox. And then they also announced that Final Fantasy XIV Online will be exclusively on the PS3 and PS4. And from what I've read, if you play on either console, you could transfer your data between the two, so that's quite cool. Then they had Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which it annoys me when we have cross-platform games shown, but there you go. One thing that you are going to be able to do, which is an exclusive for the PlayStation 4, is you're going to be able to play as the female character from Assassin's Creed Liberation from the Vita. Apparently she's going to be only playable on the PlayStation, whether that's actually as a main character in the single story player, or I would imagine more online, but there you go. This was the first game that started freezing a little bit. It would freeze and pause, and in one cutscene it actually stopped altogether, and the guy on stage playing it was actually like shaking his head. So that's a bit of a concern, because Assassin's Creed is not that far from coming out, and obviously it's a PS3 and an Xbox 360, PS4 and Xbox One release, but the code can't be that broken for it to freeze. So, is it the code that's broken, or is it the console that's freezing? This is one of the things I was a bit concerned about when watching this. So, we need to keep our eyes out on that. But apart from that, they shoot some like in-game stuff, and it's just standard Assassin's Creed fare. Nothing we hadn't really seen before from the series. Then they came out and shoot some more Watch Dogs. Which I'm so excited to play this game. It just looks fucking amazing. Apparently every connected device in the game can be hacked, which is brilliant. Apparently every mission you can go into it however you want to play it, which is brilliant. The in-game engine, which they shoot in-game stuff, it looks incredible, especially running on the PS4. It looks stunning. And also they announced that the PS4 players will get 1 hour extra gameplay exclusive on the PlayStation 4, so that's good. Then they 2K quickly announced in a stupid video that NBA 2K14 is coming. Then the Elder Scrolls Online is coming for the PS4, which is brilliant. And also there will the beta will only be a PS4 exclusive, so there'll only be a beta on the PS4. Then they announced Mad Max, which, even though it was a pre-rendered video, I got quite excited about, because I used to love Mad Max when I was a kid, and I'm excited to see the new movie, and it just got me a bit excited. And they also announced that there's going to be exclusive content, so that was quite cool. Then Jack Tretton started talking about other games. He basically came out to put to rest all of our worries for the PS4 and to give a big fucking middle finger to Microsoft. So he came out and said there's 140 games in development for the PS4, and that there is 40 exclusive titles, from what I remember, in the first year. I think he said in the first year, 40 exclusives. Then he said the PS4 supports used games, and there was a massive cheer from the whole place. You'd never heard anything like it at E3 in your life. It was awesome. They also made this little video of how you share your games on PS4. And it's like, step 1, share your games, and it's literally a guy go, there you go. He's like, oh, thanks. So that was brilliant. It was a nice, like, fuck you to Microsoft. And then they put up on the screen that we have a right to trade in our games, to sell our games to anyone we want, to lend our games to anyone we want, or if we want to, we can keep them forever and they won't ask for them back. Then there was another huge cheer when that went up. It was just brilliant. Then they said there is no online connection required. You do not have to have it connected to the internet. Another huge cheer. And there will not be any type of authentication of having to connect every 1 hour, codes for the games or anything like that, which is just bloody brilliant. And the whole place just went up. And from that moment, I knew that I am going to pre-order a PS4, because it was just like that. That's it. I'm getting one. So then we went on to PlayStation Online itself. So they started talking about PlayStation Plus. Your PlayStation Plus will carry over. So if you get a PS4, you can carry your account over to the PS4. They have changed it though. To play online multiplayer, you now have to have PlayStation Plus, which, like I said at the beginning of this video, makes sense to me. More money into it will mean they can offer a better service and better security. So I think, in my opinion, that's a good thing. And they said you can get all of it, all the PlayStation Plus stuff you get now, plus online multiplayer, for less than $5 a month. I'm assuming that's probably $4.99, and I'm hoping it's only £5 a month in the UK, but it's probably not going to be. And they said that from day one, the first major PlayStation Plus game that you can download for free will be Drive Club, which is why I'm not going to buy it on day one, because I'll just download it with my PlayStation Plus. And apparently there will be a new title every month that you can download, which is awesome. Then Bungie came out with Destiny, and what can I say? I want that game so bad. It looks epic, really, really good. It did freeze again in a couple of places, and obviously it got me asking again, is it the code, is it the software, or is it the hardware? Because, like I say, during the Microsoft conference, they had one crash, and they got to go. It literally just crashed and stopped working, and then it just started again. But with the PlayStation, it actually froze. It was actually freezing slightly for a few seconds and then carrying on. And it did it more than once. So that's making me a little bit anxious whether it's the hardware. But obviously we'll have to wait and see. Then they talked just quickly about their cloud-based strategy, and how they want to give you an all-access experience. And that the cloud service will begin in the US next year. I have read since that at the moment there is no plan. Well, they're trying to formulate a plan, but there is no date in sight at the moment for the UK. It's purely going to be in the US to start with. Apparently there's a lot of restrictions in the UK that they're struggling to get around. They never mention what. Then they gave us the price, and the whole fucking place erupted again. So in the US, it's $399. In Europe, it's €399, and in the UK, it's £349. The eye camera comes separate. It's a peripheral. You do not have to buy it, and you do not have to have it connected, not like the Xbox One. And apparently, there is no wait for Europe, where Europe, you normally have had to wait like a good 6 months, if not more, for a console. It is launching in the US and Europe this holiday season. They've said Christmas this year, so I don't know when that will be, but it sounds good to me. And then at the end, they just said that their consumer interest and the trust of the gamer is their core policy, and they don't want to break that trust, which is why they've done what they've done, which is just brilliant. So there you go. That's the overview of the PlayStation. I like I said, there's one thing that they have changed, and I think it's a good thing that they've changed it, that they've made multiplayer payable, because it also means that, you know, they should be able to offer you a better service. The other thing I read just that I thought I'd just mention afterwards, that there was an interview with one of the main CEOs, and they were talking to him about, they were saying about how they've got rid of online codes, one-use codes that a lot of third-party companies use on their multiplayer games that EA have now said they've got rid of. Sony have said they will not be using these codes on the PS4, but they could not stop or were unaware whether third-party companies were going to do it. So he said obviously there was nothing they could do about it if they wanted, but, you know, Sony themselves will not be using any online codes. So when you resell it, you have to buy a new code to play online. You know, like Battlefield 3 and stuff like that we had recently, that you needed, if you sold it, you could play the one player, but you needed to buy another code to play the multiplayer. So that's it. Coming out of that, I'm more than happy to buy a PS4, and will be buying a PS4. But yeah, let me know. Links in the description for hopefully all the videos if I can bother to find them all. Comment on this video and let me know what you thought about the PS4 conference. And I'm going to go and pass out and try and feel a bit better. So I'll see you all again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.